Stock tip. Best stock setups.
Hi, I'm Marcel Todia, and this is a new episode of Stock Tip Daily Update. The markets performed pretty much as expected, so not quite as expected, but I still think we are moving in the same direction as we did before. The markets, especially the S&P 500, which is of interest to me, managed to finish 2.5 to 2.6% in plus today, and overall, let's get back to the normal regular hours. And overall, we've gotten such a candle like this one, so pretty indecisive one. What's important is that the volume was below average, and in the daily chart we finished below the 9-day moving average, and also in the intraday chart, in the 15-minute chart, if it's loading, we've tested the 200 moving average, and then we finished below it with this small tweezer top here. So my personal opinion is that the markets are going to continue their journey south, that this was a very small technical bounce, and that the markets are going to continue sooner than later with their move south. But again, that's only my opinion, and I could be mistaken. It's just that for me, this is a little too weak to be the beginning of a bounce. So the volume is definitely lacking, and if this were a bounce, I would have expected to see such a candle like this one, so a motor candle, so an ignition candle, so to say, not just a tiny Vinci candle like we've got today. And move was pretty much reproduced also in the Nasdaq, in the tech sector, so not quite that much to it, also not that much volume here as well. And the IVM a little more promising with a trend canal here. This looks like a trend canal definitely, and other than that, still not that promising, and still no sign of a potential breakout. The DAX, on the other hand, managed to bounce a bit. I believe this is a technical bounce, and I believe this has something to do with the positive developments of the American markets. I expect the DAX to close in minus tomorrow if the American markets are going to be midday in minus or with a gap down. Then I believe the DAX is going to continue south. If the American markets continue to perform like they did today, then perhaps there we are in for another positive day in the DAX. Then Euro to US dollar also showed a lot of promise with and regains some of the losses here, and we've pretty much come close to this resistance line. This was the last support line, now it's a resistance line, and you see that the resistance line coincides with the 20 moving average. So the last time I thought to myself that I think here somewhere, and that we are going to break out, that we are going to turn around here. We managed to go a huge, big distance further. So I'm not going to make any definite predictions here, but I believe we're going to consolidate here a little more, and then continue heading south again. It's just a hunch. Meanwhile, the main player from today was oil. Oil managed to lose at one point. I think what was the loss at one point? At one point it was 18, almost 19%, and at the end oil closed with 12% in minus today. But it was pretty much to be expected, because if you take a look at this move here, it's very parabolical, and oil managed to make 40% in the last 1 or 2 weeks or so. So a correction was in the coming, so I don't think anybody is surprised by that. Overall, I think oil is going to continue moving upwards, but for now, I think a correction is coming, 1 or 2 weeks, and then perhaps the move up is going to continue. Gold also has started a correction here after we've reached the goal yesterday. The goal was 194, 195, and it seems like gold is showing some weakness at the moment. Well, also not the biggest tragedy. So a pullback is to be expected here, a pullback to the 9 or to the 20, and then I believe we are going to continue our move up. Silver, I suppose silver is mimicking, like always, what gold is doing, and we have the same movement here. One of the most important sectors at the time, just right there with the oil, is the solar sector. The solar is the one sector that has managed to break out, to consolidate here and then break out. So this was a trend change. You see, the solar sector has been consolidating for more than a year now, and I think this is a definite trend change. So we've had here a breakout, a pullback, a new breakout, a confirmed breakout, and this looks like a mother bar now, and this is an inside candle. Overall, I think this is a very bullish formation, and I've also taken a piece of the pie by first making about 5% in Sunworks, and then adding Plug to my portfolio. Plug also performed nicely today. Okay, so this is for the markets. Then for the portfolio, there's not much in it. I've decided, even though I initially said I wouldn't sell my position in gold, I decided to liquidate it because I need liquid cash. I need cash in order to maintain my options. And then gold had to be sacrificed. I'm still long in Plug here, so Plug is looking wonderfully, and my stop is at the moment beneath the last candle, so at 24.5, I think, or 24.6, somewhere there. And I've also partied with SHIB today, as I still had some strength. Not because I don't like this setup anymore, but because we are bound to receive our quarterly earnings call tomorrow before open, and I don't want to take any hit here. This would be the last thing I wished for on such a meaningless stock like this one, to take 7% or 10% hit just because you decide to hold it. So SHIB is for the time being gone from the portfolio. So what is my strategy moving forward? My strategy is to hold on to my options here. I still hope we are going to reach 4,000 in the S&P 500, or respectively 400 in the SPY, and as soon as we reach it, I think I'm going to add a call in the portfolio. The market decides to change direction, and perhaps a little sooner, I will add a call option with expiry date in I think in June. So that should be enough, and I think this call option will be with a trigger at the 400 and. So 4,060 or something like this. So we are halfway there, and until June, I think until June, we still have a long time to go, and we might just have enough time to recoup our the losses here and to make a solid profit. But the first things first, I still wish to see us reach 400 here, or better yet, 370. This would be the best possible scenario, but first things first. So one step at a time. And the key is not to despair. Furthermore, I still advise against too much swing trading. If you do decide, then perhaps you should stick to the one or two sectors that are turning a profit right now, and these are resources, natural resources, raw materials, and energy. And by energy, I mean here solar energy. This is the chart here. This is the chart in the solar energy, and it looks phenomenal. Okay, so this is it for today. We're going to continue with the third part of our video with setups. And if you do have any questions, then leave them right in